Hello guys, welcome to another video, from betrayed Sekiryuutei to the world's strongest Nikke. By Argus_Fallen_019 Chapter 3. Meeting Orc, 2 Exorcist and Rapture reveals to the human world. 3rd POV, after Rapi finish her school activities, the teacher give his students a break time since he needs to compute their grades in the school office. Then someone knocks the door, which it was Kiba. Kiba knocks the door. 3x, excuse me class, can I have Rapi for a moment? He said as most girls started admiring their prince while the boys were frustrated about the prince calling their goddess Rapi. Rapi. Hey Kiba, I thought you will wait me in the school park, she asked him. Kiba. Well, Rias ordered me to fetch you and she wanted to talk to you about something, he said as he remembered about that time earlier. Kiba's flashback. Kiba. You want me to what? He said to Rias. Rias. Indeed Kiba, I want her to be in this orc right now, she said to him. Kiba. But, he wanted to talk back but Akano tells him. Akano. I'm sorry Kiba, but Rias wanted her to be part of our peerage. She said that Kaneko smelled the same scent of the dragon inside of the new girl. More importantly, she's a red dragon empress, she said, which Kiba looked at Kaneko, who nodded at him. Kiba. Look Rias, I can't let you order me like that. You already killed Issei, who is my friend. I won't let you do that to her. I've made a promise to protect her, he said to Rias. Rias. Do what I say, or else you will be marked as a stray devil, so choose wisely, Kiba Yuto, she said as she raised her power of destruction aura. Kiba has no choice but to do his master's orders. Kiba's end of flashback. After Kiba remembered that time, Rapi was concerned that Kiba was been ordering like a slave. She has no power to free him from Rias unless she needed someone else who can save him. Rapi. Is that so? I guess that I'll have a talk to this Rias girl, she said as she is coming with him while Kiba guides her to the orc. Then all students complain that Kiba has been taken by the goddess Rapi, or even they shipped Rapi and Kiba as a great couple. Location. Orc house. As Kiba and Rapi arrived in the orc, Rapi remembers her past memories being a member of orc, though she decided to let it go ever since Rias betrayed her. Then they entered the orc house as they headed to the room. Once they arrived, Kiba opened the door as the person who is sitting on the sofa, revealing Rias' Gremory. Rias. Greetings Rachel, Rapi, Hyodo, or should I say, Red Dragon Empress, she said with a smirk, which Rapi didn't show her shocking expression since she just remained neutral. Rapi. I didn't know that Rias will know me soon, but I guess she forced Kaneko to smell my scent of the dragon inside me, she said mentally. Rapi. Crosses her arms. So you know that I'm a Red Dragon Empress? So what do you want from me, devil scum? She said in hatred, which Rias glares at her before she smirked as she said. Rias. So you know that supernatural is real? Then I have a proposal. How about you should join me in my peerage? I'm sure that you would get stronger to obtain new powers from my pieces, she said to Rapi. Then Rapi said to her with 2 words. Rapi. I refuse, she said in simple answer. Rias. Claps her hands. That's great, now I should just put my pieces on. Wait, what did just said? She said in joyful to confused looks. Rapi. Don't you hear what I said, Gremory? I refuse your proposal, since I am not ally with the greedy devils like you. There's no way that I am gonna abandon my humanity. So please, this is worthless for my time, she said, but when she turned around, Rias has no choice but to knock her into the wall with her pod. Rapi. Knocked to the wall. Arg. She kneeled to the floor and hold her left arm. What a tricky move, you devil scum, she said as Rias decided to throw her 8 pieces of evil pawn on Rapi's chest, which Rapi felt pain on her body. Then Rias started chanting it to complete the ritual to turn Rapi as a devil. After Rias chanted it, Rapi is, officially, a devil on Rias' peerage. Rias. Sorry Rachel, you're in my peerage this time. You will follow my rules and you will not resist it no matter what, she said an evil smile, but Rapi laughed at her, which Rias was confused why Rapi is smiling at her. Rapi. Ha 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 ha, I don't think so, Gremory B*TCH. You think I will become a slave to you just like what you did to my brother, she said, which the 8 pawns ejected from her body, which it is unstable before it shattered like a glass. Rias. What, how come my pieces ejected from you? What did you do? She asked her. Rapi. What did I do? Simple, your evil pieces won't work for me. You can't turn someone like me into a devil. In fact, Diedrich helped me to purge my pieces because my will is stronger than anything, And it also says that evil pieces can turn someone into a devil by putting it in the heart of the human. But my heart is just a machine, not a real heart. Sorry to disappoint you, Red B *TCH, she said, which Rias was terrified. But before Rias could back off, Rapi decided to grab Rias' face before slamming her in the wall 5 to 10 times. After Rapi slammed Rias on the wall, she let go of Rias on the floor as Rias' face was deformed due to the impact on slamming the wall with Rapi's strength. Rapi, next time we meet again, I'll kick you so hard on your belly button, Gremory. Look at Kiba, Kiba. I recommend you not to follow her and do it on your own will. You're not a slave, you're a once human, so please do it for me, she said as she left the room. Then Kiba rethink of it and he decided to follow Rapi afterwards. The only left in the room besides Rias is Akano and Kaneko. Akano. Era, Rapi-chan is very strong. I wonder if she can do that to me. Hi, she said as Kaneko said. Kaneko. Rias got what she deserved. I'm sure one day, Rapi-senpai will know the truth that her brother was killed by Rias and that Valifor bastard. She said as she hates Rias and the Valifor bastard since she remembers the day that they killed Issei in front of her. That's why Akano, Kaneko and even Asia doesn't need to help Rias with her problems. Timeskip, as Rapi, Asia and Kiba finished their classes, they decided to go home as Kiba wanted to join Rapi on their dinner. After a few minutes, they arrived on Hyodo's residence. However, Kiba and Asia sense a holy aura inside the house, which Rapi sees their reaction before heading inside their home. Once Rapi get inside, she rushed to the door as she sees her mom talking with 2 girls which they belong to the church. Mickey. Era, Rapi-chan? You've came back early? By the way, this is Irina Shido, your brother's childhood friend, and her partner Zenobia Quarta. Looks at 2 exorcist girls. This is Rachel Hyodo, or known as Rapi. She is supposed to be younger sister of Issei and my biological daughter, she said, which both girls were surprised as Kiba and Asia were arrived on Rapi's side, which they're shocked that the exorcists were here in Hyodo's house. Few minutes later, this time, Irina was shocked that Issei has a sister all the time, which it is new to her as both exorcist and Rapi along her friend and adopted sister talk to each other. Irina. So you're Issei's sister? Smiling face. I never know that Issei have such a cute sister. I wish that he is here. Rapi. Sigh, Issei Nissan is not here. Irina was shocked. When I come back from Germany, my mother told me that Issei went missing 1 month ago. That's why I was desperate to find him, but Diedrich tells me the truth that my brother was dead, she said in half-lie, which it makes Irina and Zenobia look at her in shocking expression. Even Kiba, who look at Rapi about how does she knows that her brother died, so he guessed that Diedrich saw everything and tells her the truth. Irina. What? How come Issei is dead? How is this possible? She asked her, but Kiba tells her the truth. Kiba. I'm sorry, Irina-san. What she said is right. I am also with him all the time. He was involved in the supernatural because Rias Gremory decided to reincarnate him as a devil. Issei went so events like killing the rogue fallen angel and even defeating the Phoenix heir. But he was betrayed by the Gremory, as well as he was beaten up by that last Valifor of the Valifor clan. I couldn't do anything to save him. I'm just a coward knight who couldn't save my best friend, he said as he cries deeply, which Rapi couldn't help but hugs Kiba to calm him down, which Irina felt heartbroken as Zenobia felt sad but angry at the Gremory heiress. Zenobia. So you said that Gremory and the last Valifor did this to Irina's childhood friend? Kiba and Rapi nodded at her. In that case, if I ever see them, I will not hesitate to pull the Excalibur and kill them on sight, she said as Kiba heard the Excalibur, which he said. Kiba. So you too have the Excalibur? Zenobia nodded at him. For all my life that I can able to find Excaliburs, I wanted to destroy them. But I have other goal, which I wanted to kill that Valifor bastard and make Rias suffer for what she did to Issei, he said as Zenobia asked him. Zenobia. Are you perhaps a part of the Holy Sword Project? Kiba nodded at him. I understand your hatred on the Excalibur, but I will share this information to you about who is the responsible for killing children who are part of the project. His name is, she said to him, but Rapi answered her as she said. Rapi. Valpierre Galilei. He is the mastermind of doing this cruel project on the church, she said as Zenobia was surprised and asked her. Zenobia. How did you know about this? She asked her. Rapi. I'm a part human and machine, which I call myself as Nikke. I was assigned to become the soldier to fight off the enemies for the humanity's sake, and I can able to gather information or data as well as I can access to every software or any classified information about the military on both human and supernatural. She said, which this made Irina and Zenobia look at her in disbelief. Even Asia and Kiba was surprised about this. Zenobia. I see, does your parents know about this or anyone else you know? She said to her. Rapi. Smiles. Yes, they're aware of my existence as well as the supernatural. They were surprised. That's why there are too many holy items that are displayed in this room. She said, which Asia and Kiba look at every holy items around them, which they felt a pain on their head and screams like hell. Kiba, Asia. Drop on the floor. Why? How come we never sense it? Ow. Too much holy items, they said as Rapi was panicked before she covered the holy items with a cloth so that both devils can able to regain themselves from the holy items. Zenobia. I see, so these two of them are devils? And is that a witch? Rapi. Please, don't do that to my adopted sister. She's all I have in my family. And I consider Kiba as my dearest friend, so please, give them a chance to live. They were forced to become a slave to that Gremory B*TCH. She said as Irina tells Zenobia as she said. Irina. Zenobia, please give her a chance. We know that Asia is excommunicated from the church by her actions of healing a devil. But she has a family now even if she was turned as a devil. I'm sure God already give her a chance to live with her new family with no regrets, she said as Zenobia support her. Rapi. I'm glad that you give her a chance, but what are you two doing here? Irina. You see, we were ordered by the church as well as Archangel Michael to retrieve the Excaliburs from the stray exorcist. They already have 4 Excaliburs on their hands and they have a CH3 fallen angel on their side. Rapi. Is that so? Then I have to call someone who can help us, she said as she uses her Nikke's technology to contact someone. Zenobia. Who might be, Rapi-san? She said in curious looks as well as others wanted to know who is this person that Rapi knows. Rapi. The person I know very well, Valley the Vanishing Dragon, she said to them. Irina, Zenobia, Kiba. Vanishing Dragon, they said in unison, while Asia doesn't have any clue who's this Vanishing Dragon. Then Rapi was able to contact Valley as she said, Rapi, hi Valley, can I ask for a moment? Valley. What is it, Rapi-chan, he said to her. Rapi. Seriously, why did you call me Rapi-chan? Sai, either way, will you help us here in Kuo because these 2 exorcists were in a mission to retrieve the Excaliburs, but they mentioned that they have rogue CH3 fallen angel on their side. Valley. Alright then, but first, can I bring my father because he wants to talk to you and check on your Nikke technology. He also wanted to bring the blueprints of the futuristic warfare to you. That's all I can say. I'll meet you tomorrow, he said as he ended the call. Then Rapi think of it as she said. Rapi. Futuristic warfare? If I can see the works from Valley's adopted father Azazel, I can able to help him and ask him to build a portal to the another world so that I could help my commander, my team and everyone I know and exterminate Raptures at once, she said in her mind as she turned to Irina and Zenobia. Rapi. By the way, Irina and Zenobia, you can stay here for a while. We have spare room on the 2nd floor and we are going to have a dinner later on. I have to do something in my room, she said as she headed to the stairway. Irina. I was glad that Issei has such a good sister. One day, I will deliver divine punishment on those devils so that Issei can be rest in peace, she said as she praised herself. This made Rapi heard her while she was upstairs. She smiles at herself as she really have a good friends who stayed by her side. Rapi. I'll make sure of that. Eyes glows red color. Rias and Fredlin will pay for what they did to me even if I will use my trump card called Red Hood, and even the Juggernaut Overdrive, she said to herself. Location. Somewhere in the desert of Mexico. In the vast desert of Mexico, there are 6 US soldiers who are heading out to the exact pinpoint. They just left their Humvee few hours ago in just few meters away from them since their mission is to check out what kind of anomaly that usually appears in the desert and they need to report it to their general as well as the other higher-ups as soon as possible. Soldier 1. So we are going to check this thing on the desert? Soldier, leader. That's what they said, this is just quick mission. So don't worry, I'll take care of you, he said to them. Then the portal appeared above their pinpoint location, which all soldiers went alert as they see an alien-like mecha appears from the portal, but it dropped dead on the ground afterwards. The soldiers were shocked at the size of the anomaly like aliens that appeared from the portal. Soldier 5. What the FCK is that? Soldier 4. Sir, what are your orders? Soldier, leader. Hold your fire. Notice the harvester is not moving. I think this thing is dead. Soldier 2. Do you think we should report this? Soldier, leader. I don't know, but we must know about this thing. Someone else has a knowledge on this thing? Soldier 3. Checks the phone and sees the message. Sir, I think you should see this, he said as he gives his phone to his leader. Then the leader takes the phone and see it, which he was surprised that there are the pictures of the dead alien creatures like they saw but different size and forms. It really appears in any country or cities. England, New York, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Ukraine, Russia, Germany, Indonesia, Greenland, France, Italy, and even Tokyo, Japan. Soldier, leader. Oh God. If there are so many of these things appeared in everywhere, what will happen to us if these things are alive? Do we even have a chance to face them? Soldiers, head back to our base immediately. We need to report this to our higher-ups as soon as possible. He ordered his men as they headed to their Humvee and start driving away from the harvester before heading back to their base. Unknown to the rest of the world, this is just the beginning, since the Rapture will be sent on the new world soon. Little by little, they will accomplish it with few steps until the portal is finished, so that the Rapture will trigger another great war between humans and, most of all, supernatural. A war between the peace and freedom versus the chaos and destruction. There will always be two worlds but one home.